What's going on, guys? Asian Guy here, bringing you an update from the Japan server of One Piece Treasure Cruise. We have got 6 plus Blackbeard at long last. We have got 6 plus Blackbeard and he looks phenomenal. He looks absolutely amazing. We have got a new Law, a new Zoro, a new Beppo and gang. We've got a new Hawkins. We've got a new Caesar. We've got a whole bunch of new characters. Stemmaru's in there as well. So many new characters and we're going to go over all of them. A massive shout out to Koala-san of the OPTC subreddit for making all this information easily accessible. If you would like to read it up yourself, the link is in the description down below. So let's begin with this beast 6 plus Marshall D-Teach Blackbeard V1. So he does have different abilities based on whether you have him key limit broken or not, but the difference is that his attack boost will be a 3.75 times or a 4 times attack boost for the crew, depending on whether or not you have given him a key limit break. So not the biggest difference in the world. So let's get into his captain ability. His captain ability will ignore all defensive abilities for normal attacks of the crew, as well as ignoring all defensive abilities on your own crew. So you cannot use damage reduction abilities with Blackbeard on your own, but he will bypass all enemy damage reduction abilities, which is superb. And when the crew has at least a fighter, slasher, strike and shooter character on the crew, you need to have all 4 of those classes. He will boost the attack of the crew by 3.75 times, HP by 1.5 times, and the crew will treat Dex Orbs as beneficial. The key limit break is exactly the same, but instead of 3.75 times attack boost, it's a 4 times attack boost. So this is super good because, as you guys know, Kara is always like a flavor of the month character. She will go in and out of the meta depending on what kind of content returns, especially with barriers, but this makes 6 plus Blackbeard one of the favorites that could definitely displace her. The only difference here though, guys, is that the Kara is, remember guys, also a orb booster, so that is quite a big thing to have, whereas this Blackbeard is a HP cutter. So Kara and Blackbeard, they can work together, well, not necessarily together, but as long as you have them in your box, you can use one or the other depending on what you need to cater to. So that is really nice. The special is superb as well. We'll cut the HP of all enemies by 30%. That will ignore all defensive abilities, so if they don't have normal attack only, this is amazing. And then he will reduce 5 turns of bind on the crew, changes block orbs to matching orbs as well. What a unit, what a unit. But it gets even better because his PvP abilities are incredible. Let's get into it. So, his PvP abilities will increase the attack of all allies by level 7, increase his own attack by level 3, and level 2 HP up of all Dex allies as well. So he's really good on a Dex team, giving them all level 7 attack up, level 3 to himself, so a 10 in total, and then level 2 HP up to himself and all Dex allies. But the special ability, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, this special ability is absurd. It's at a 33 CT charge time, which is very nice. We'll cut the HP of all enemies by 35%, so it won't miss. That's a huge HP cut. Not quite Whitebeard level, but still a huge HP cut. And then after that, if the enemy is strength or quick, he will do 2,000 fixed damage. After that, that does not miss. It will not miss. So 35% HP cut into 2,000 fixed damage on anyone that is strength or quick, which is insane. And the level 4 defense down as well. Now, I'm not 100% sure if the level 4 defense down applies to only strength and quick enemies or all enemies, but either way, that is an incredible special. 35% HP cut to all enemies, whatever type they are, and if there are any strength or quick units, they will take a further 2,000 fixed damage hit, and then level 4 defense down, which I think is probably all enemies, but even if it's just strength and quick enemies, it's pretty huge. If it is all enemies though, the level 4 defense down for 25 seconds, this is one of the best specials in the game. Now, before you celebrate, this is the PvP Whitebeard killer. You gotta remember that this Blackbeard is a powerhouse driven unit, and PvP Whitebeard, who is a quick unit, who has a shorter cooltime, then this Blackbeard has a pretty much guaranteed chance to silence him, which is obviously not good. And he doesn't have any silence resistance either, so he's not going to be a counter to PvP Whitebeard. He is only immune to paralysis, so you want to keep that one in mind as well. But I gotta say, what a character. That is such a good 6 plus, a massive buff. And I gotta say, this artwork, this is a 10 out of 10 artwork. I don't think Blackbeard is the prettiest thing to look at in the world, but this artwork is gorgeous. I just can't deny it. It looks absolutely gorgeous. Let's move on to the Kizuna rare recruits and the Kizuna unit Basil Hawkins. So Basil Hawkins is going to be the next Team Kizuna unit. Remember to sign up for teams, guys, unless you're okay with being auto-assigned to a random team, which I do not recommend because there's loads of dead accounts that can be put into your team. So if you are looking for a team, you'll probably want to head over to my stream when I am making teams, and I will announce that on Discord as well. So make sure to join my Discord server because that's where all the teams are. We have loads of different team channels for people who are looking for teams for this OPTC Kizuna. So Sai Hawkins, his captain ability is really good for a free-to-play unit, will boost attack of Cerebral and Striker characters by 3.5 times and will also make them treat Sai Orbs as beneficial. His special ability is superb, reduces 5 turns of paralysis and despair on the crew, reduces 5 turns of threshold damage reduction on enemies, and for 1 turn nullify the damage taken from strength, quick, and int characters. What a unit! So good. And then he will give plus 50 to all stats for Cerebral and Striker units, and he will add 2 times character's attack in damage on top of the tap timing bonus. Really good. He has Enrage and Heal Block reduction as his limit break, so both very good as well. And his support ability is decent too. Reduces 5% incoming int damage, 7% attack and recovery boost to supported characters, and he will boost any Sai character as well. So overall, for a free-to-play unit, one of the best free-to-play units in the game. Really good. His Pirate Festival abilities are kind of, you know, they're average. They're pretty decent. His Pirate Festival passive or ability will be a level 5 attack up to Sai allies and level 3 HP up to Sai allies as well. His Pirate Festival special will deal 1.7 times his attack in damage to enemies in a sideways medium range, so not that huge, and reduces special seal or special silence state of Sai allies by 30 seconds. So overall, that is okay. I don't think it's that useful. It's not a character I would recommend investing in. But let's look at the new Kizuna limited rare recruits. We've got Zoro, we have got the Heart Pirates, and then we have got another Lord. So I am probably going to be pulling on the sugo-fest. The 30 gem discount does guarantee you a limited rare recruit, not necessarily a Kizuna limited rare recruit. The second multi will guarantee you a Kizuna limited rare recruit, and the third multi will guarantee you one of these 3 characters. So that's pretty huge because all of them really good, guys. They are trying to drain your gems before New Year's, because I guarantee you guys, if you do not have gems on New Year's, you are probably going to end up buying gems on New Year's. That's my warning. Take it with a, I wouldn't say a grain of salt, with a bag of salt. Take it with a bag of salt. Don't spend before New Year's, unless you really want to get all of these resources from the Kizuna event. So Zoro is a slasher and powerhouse character booster. He will boost their attack by 3.25 times with matching orbs, otherwise attack by 3 times, and then HP by 1.25 times will make Dex orbs beneficial for the crew. That is his Kizuna captain. I assume this is probably gonna have some sort of buff during the Kizuna. I'm not 100% sure, but I would be surprised if this does not get buffed during the Kizuna. But the special alone is incredible. 50 times character attack and typeless damage that will ignore any defensive abilities, I assume, to all enemies, and defense. -1 cooldown to slasher and powerhouse characters, reduces 6 turns of despair when the enemy has delay protection or debuff protection for 1 turn, boosts orbs of slasher and powerhouse characters by 2.25 times. What a unit. This is so good, and he is a powerhouse slasher unit, so this is going to be very nice for certain powerhouse slasher characters we might be getting in the future. Who knows? I mean, we know they're going to come to the game at some point, but when is the real question. Let's take a look. Slasher characters will treat Dex orbs as beneficial, which is a great Sailor ability, but most of all, guys, the support is also really good. This Zoro has everything other than a busted captain ability. So let's take a look. Once during the adventure, when the support character triggers a special that changes orbs, for 1 turn, boost orbs of slasher and powerhouse characters by 1.5 times. Luffy, Otama, Okiku, and Otsuru all supported. Now the first 3 here all have pretty good units that do indeed, I'm pretty sure, change orbs, especially Luffy and Otama. There's a lot of them. So that's a very, very good special. Very, very, very good special. The only downside here is that Luffy is mostly free spirit fighter and doesn't really have one that is going to be slasher or powerhouse. So, you know, Treasure Map Luffy is one of the few that come to mind here that can actually use this support ability. As well, Luffy Zoro can't actually work because this is Zoro. Let's move on to Beppo, Shachi, and Penguin, who are the Heart Pirates, Law's subordinates. Their special will change, this special is busted by the way, change all orbs, including block orbs, into quick orbs, reduces 5 turns of paralysis and bind on the crew. When the captain is a fighter, powerhouse, or free spirit character, reduces 5 turns of threshold damage reduction on enemies. Like, what is that special? Block orb manipulation to a full board of quick orbs, reduces 5 turns of paralysis and bind, and then if your captain's fighter, powerhouse, or free spirit, 5 turns of threshold damage reduction. Madness! And on top of that, guys, fighter characters will treat quick orbs as beneficial. Like, what am I looking at? This is such a powerful character. This is so good. And guess what? The support ability is also so good. Once during the adventure, when the enemy puts up % damage reduction, reduces 2 turns of % damage reduction on enemies. Supports Trafalgar Law, one of the most used characters in the game. I don't know, guys. I don't know. This is a really strong character. I really do want them. They're so useful. And they're, you know, they don't really take up any important character slots. There's one other quick Beppo, which is kind of decent. But when are you really going to use that quick Beppo? So really easily accessible character if you have it in your box. So very useful on loads of different teams. Quick Law, also very good. He will change strength and quick orbs of the crew to matching orbs, reduces 5 turns of % damage reduction on enemies, reduces 5 turns of attack down on the crew, and if the captain is free spirit, slasher, or fighter, for 1 turn, boost chain by 1.0. This is so good. This one is so good as well. Unbelievable. He will keep his quick orb when hitting a perfect with him as well as plus 75 attack to slasher characters. He also has ship seal reduction as a limit break, and unfortunately also has critical chance for a limit break as well. But guess what? His support is also good. Once during the adventure, when the enemy does attack down, reduces 2 turns of attack down on crew, as well as supporting Corazon, Beppo, Shachi, and Penguin. So it's another really good support unit / limited rare recruit that just has a great support and a great special and a great sailor ability and a great, yeah, he's just great. This law is really good as well. So I'm definitely going to be pulling in the hopes of getting one of these 3. But it doesn't end there, guys. It doesn't end there. There's even more information because there's even more characters on another different sugo-fest. Support units. Now, I'm only going to read to you guys these support abilities. Their specials are okay, but you are really just going to be using these characters as support. So Daifuku is the first one. He will support Big Mom, Katakuri, Smoothie, and Cracker. Once during the adventure, when the support character triggers a special that does a HP cut or direct damage, reduces 2 turns of despair, reduces 4 turns of defense up on enemies, 4 turns, and for 1 turn will treat recovery orbs as beneficial and change adjacent orbs to recovery orbs. Now, the main thing here, though, is that your character has to trigger a special that does a HP cut or direct damage, which is not that easily accessible on Katakuri, Smoothie, and Cracker. So that is quite a big downside. This Daifuku, while the support ability is insane, it's actually ridiculous. It's got a very big limit to where you can use it. So that one is a little bit interesting. Strength Caesar. Now, Caesar will, once during the adventure, he will support Virgo, Dofi, Beige, and Kaido. So a very good selection of characters there, Dofi, Beige, and Kaido. Once during the adventure, when the support character triggers a special that boosts attack or orbs, reduces 2 turns of bind on crew, poisons all enemies, and for 1 turn boosts attack against enemies with poison or strong poison by 1.5 times. And you trigger that with an attack or orb boost, which Dofi, Beige, and the new Kaido definitely all have. So that is also very good. Strength Shenmaru. So Shenmaru will support strength powerhouse characters, and Moria will support driven characters, and they basically do the exact same thing as support. Once during the adventure, when the support character triggers the special, boost base attack of support character by 1.3 until moving to the next stage. So this one is also very good. Multi-turn support special, boosting their base attack by 1.3 until they move or finish the adventure, basically. Move to the next stage or finish the adventure. Mori is the exact same thing, except he's for int-driven characters, and Stemmaru is for strength powerhouse characters. Wow, 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 guys. These characters, so many insane free-to-play characters have been coming out recently. Thank you, Yoshi. So many good sugo-fest with great limited rare recruits also coming out, as well as guaranteed limited rare recruits on those steps. Again, Dunker Yoshi. And then, a massive shout out to Koala-san, guys, who is keeping this subreddit afloat with these translations. What a beast. Because this stuff takes ages to do, guys. It takes so long to post this information. But yes, thank you so much to Koala-san. Again, the link to this thread will be in the description down below. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Remember to hashtag DunkerYoshi with a bellissimo. And one last thing, if you are still here, that I want to point out, guys, is the last few legends we've had. Shanks, Big Mom and Kaido, 6+ Blackbeard. I wonder what the pattern is. So I wonder who's coming next. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye-bye.